Welcome to the National Newspaper Publishers Association's Let It Be Known. The woman known as Diamond, one half of Diamond and Silk, the Trump supporting Black women and traveling minstrel show, has died. And controversial Republican Rep. George Santos, the infamous new congressman who reportedly lied his way to Capitol Hill and whom cameras appeared to capture giving a white power salute during congressional hearings the other day, is facing a new challenge as some Democrats have filed ethics complaints against him. Also today, three Black students in Southeast Georgia are suing a school district, contending its officials' enforcement of an unconstitutional dress code that forbade Black Lives Matter attire but permitted nooses and Confederate emblems on campuses violated their First Amendment rights. We'll tell you about all of that and more. But first, some great news on Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin. Hamlin was released from an Ohio hospital on Monday, saying he's grateful for the care he received since collapsing and nearly dying last week during a game against the Cincinnati Bengals. And on Tuesday, he was transferred to a hospital in Buffalo from Cincinnati to continue his recovery 1 week after the medical incident unfolded on Monday Night Football. We all saw, many of us witnessed that horrendous sight of Damar just passing out after being hit on the football field and suffering cardiac arrest. Millions of people watched that. And a Instagram notification, Damar said that he was doing better and he saluted the Buffalo Bills and, of course, his family and all of those who have kept vigil for him. A doctor that traveled with Damar from Cincinnati to Buffalo said, I traveled with him to the airports this morning with our UC Health Air Care and mobile care crew, including teammates who were with us on the field with when Damar Hamlin collapsed. This was Dr. William Knight IV, a professor of emergency medicine at the University of Cincinnati College of Medicine. The doctor added that Hamlin still has a little bit of a ways to go in terms of his ongoing recovery. Hamlin walked his first lap on Friday after his breathing tube was removed that morning. The doctor says he's certainly on what we consider a very normal to even accelerated trajectory from the life-threatening event that he underwent, but is making great progress. It is so outstanding to hear. Hamlin tweeted out on Monday afternoon. He says, grateful for the awesome care I received at UCMC. Happy to be back in Buffalo. The doctors and nurses at Buffalo General have already made me feel at home. And no doubt, the fans of the Buffalo Bills who surrounded the hospital, along with the fans of the Cincinnati Bengals, surrounded the hospital in Cincinnati, and some are doing the same in Buffalo, just making sure that Hamlin knows that he is in their thoughts and prayers. A great story. It's always good to bring these type of stories to the Black press. And so we'll continue to monitor Mr. Hamlin as he recovers. And the Buffalo Bills continue on in the NFL playoffs that begin in earnest next week. Well, Diamond of the pro-Trump entertainers Diamond and Silk has died. The former president, as well as the duo's verified Twitter account, announced that she had passed away. She was 51 years old. Both women sisters, whose names are Lynette Hardaway and Rochelle Richardson, respectively, were born in 1971, with Diamond making her debut on Thanksgiving, according to their 2020 book, Uprising. Calling her death really bad news for Republicans, former President Donald Trump said on his Truth Social platform, our beautiful Diamond of Diamond and Silk has just passed away at her home. in the same state she loved so much, North Carolina. Her cause of death was unknown, but Diamond's death, according to Trump, was totally unexpected. The pair's verified Twitter account said, quote, "The world just lost a true angel and warrior patriot for freedom, love, and humanity. It asks that any donations be made to a memorial fundraiser page at a crowdfunding website." In late November, the Diamond and Silk Twitter account made a plea for prayers for Diamond. It was not clear exactly why. It's quoted, "Anyone who believes in the power of prayer, please pray for Diamond," according to that posting. Uh, the uprising says that the sisters grew up poor, but not without class, taste, and an anchor in a parcel of the fertile land of the Deep South where their father's dad and grandfather were land owning farmers. The two women made a splash during Trump's 2016 campaign for president, supporting him with commentary on their YouTube channel. The duo has said they switched parties after being lifelong Democrats just to support Trump following his 2015 presidential campaign announcement. And along the way, of course, they ruffled the feathers of many Black women and women in general who Trump had repeatedly uh, verbally assaulted, I guess is the word we're looking for here, uh, insulted, assaulted, you name it. Of course, Trump in 2015, when he was running for president, that infamous video of he and Billy Bush and grabbed them by their private parts, and that he could shoot or kill anybody on Fifth Avenue and still get away with it. And I tell you what, he probably at least to this point, he's been honest about that because with all of the growing and mountain of evidence against him, there's been no formal prosecution of Donald Trump. And he was just given credit with helping Representative Kevin McCarthy win the speakership in the U.S. House of Representatives. So there is the Donald and his story for you. But Diamond and Silk has died. We condolences go out to her family as well. Now to uh, Santos. This guy, of course, our own Barrington Salmon named him the Fool of the Year in 2022. Uh, but a pair of New York Democratic lawmakers have filed a formal complaint with the House Ethics Committee against George Santos, alleging he violated federal ethics laws. It seems almost cut and dry. I mean, obviously, you have to say alleged because he's not been convicted of anything. And legally, journalists have to say alleged. But this guy has said things that were pretty incredible. Lied on his resume, on his just his run for the House. Told some, as they say, whoppers. That's George Santos. The two lawmakers are Representatives Richie Torres and Daniel Goldman. They requested the House panel investigate whether Santos, also from New York, broke the Ethics in Government Act by failing to file timely, accurate, and complete financial disclosure reports. They hand delivered their ethics complaint to Santos's office. Torres and Goldman alleged Santos's financial disclosure reports for 2020 and 2022 are, quote, sparse and perplexing, and claim that the Republicans' public statements have, quote, contradicted some information included in the 2022 financial disclosure and confirmed that the 2022 financial disclosure failed to disclose other information. Given the revelations about his biography, as well as the public information pertaining to his financial disclosures, Santos has failed to uphold the integrity expected of members of the House of Representatives, the two Democrats wrote to Representatives Michael Guest, a Republican, and Susan Wild, the Democrat, who lead that particular committee. Goldman was Democrats' lead counsel during Trump's first impeachment proceedings. He says George Santos, by his own admission, is an outright fraud. The House has an obligation to police itself and maintain the integrity of the institution. He wrote in a Twitter post, adding that the complaint to the ethics committee is the first step to holding Santos accountable. Torres accused Santos of defrauding with Congress, defrauding both Congress and the public. Asked about the complaint from Torres and Goldman, Santos told reporters that, quote, they're free to do whatever they want, and has said he has done nothing unethical. Imagine that. He has done nothing unethical. Santos, who was sworn into office early Saturday morning, continues to be under scrutiny and facing calls to resign after he admitted to, quote unquote, embellishing portions of his background during his successful bid for Congress, including his education and professional background. He was also captured on uh, film the other day, given the white power sign and salute during the hearings that saw Kevin McCarthy finally become speaker after contentious battle, 15 rounds. We haven't seen that in quite some time. In fact, no one alive has ever seen it go that far. 15 rounds. There was even some physical altercations between Republican lawmakers as that vote went on, as they tried to uh, settle in on McCarthy as Speaker, while others did not want him at all. Also, on a recurring theme, three Black students in Southeast Georgia are suing a school district contending its officials' enforcement of an unconstitutional dress code that forbade Black Lives Matter attire but permitted nooses and confederate emblems on campuses violated their First Amendment rights. Lakeisha Hamilton, the mother of one of the students, and Toretta McCrae, the mother of the remaining two students, filed the federal civil rights lawsuit against the Effingham County School District on behalf of their minor children, according to Georgia Public Broadcasting. The mothers claimed administrators at Effingham County High School and Effingham College and Career Academy, located about 20 miles northwest of Savannah, engaged in an egregious pattern of purposely ignoring reports regarding racial intimidation and discrimination incidents. This lawsuit says, quote, the school permits faculty to display paraphernalia supporting former President Donald Trump. However, the school has expressly prohibited plaintiffs from wearing Black Lives Matter messaging because it is disruptive and controversial. In one instance, a Black student was allegedly refused entry to a football game because he wore a Black Lives Matter shirt. But a white student faced no repercussions for showing up to the same football game wearing a shirt that read, quote, stomp on my flag and I'll stomp on your ASS. The lawsuit alleges that school officials told Black students that Black Lives Matter messaging depicts a disruption, while the Confederate flag represents, quote, heritage and not hate, and is a matter of pride. Boy, oh boy, none of these people listened to or paid attention at all to Hakeem Jeffries' speech on the House floor the other night, did they? In addition, there was an incident of a white educator making explicitly racist remarks, plus a white student wearing a full Hitler costume during Spirit Week after obtaining prior approval from a teacher and openly using racial slurs, including the N word. This is a lawsuit that perhaps the federal civil rights office will join in on if these allegations are true. No reason to believe that they're not. Down in Georgia, southeast Georgia, where this is taking place, this continues to happen. Compound that with the fact that uh, this critical race theory, banning everything about the history of this country, whether it's part of a great history or part of that sordid history that we all know about. They don't want you to know about it. But these three students, certainly have taken great offense, and as perhaps they should, with the double standard there. And somebody has to stand up, right? And do something about this. Well, folks, it's been quite a first couple of weeks of 2023. The first 10 days have already been chock full of news, and we continue to bring it to you as it pertains to us, people of color. The Black press has been doing it for 196 years, and we are going to continue right here with Let It Be Known. There's going to be some exciting things coming up on Let It Be Known. But please, if you want all of the really good stuff, subscribe to our YouTube page. We're going to have some very, very special things there for those who subscribe to the page. Of course, it's free to subscribe. And of course, as we've said, we know you'll enjoy it because if you don't, you're going to let us know and we're going to have to do something about it anyway. But we appreciate your signing up to check out Let It Be Known. Also, the NMPA, that is the National Newspaper Publishers Association, which represents the more than 230 African American newspapers and media companies around the country, having its midwinter training conference in San Juan, Puerto Rico, beginning in February 2nd. Please, if you have the time and the desire, join us. Hop a flight to San Juan and get out of the cold. If you're in the cold, go to some good weather. There's some nice beaches in San Juan. But our convention kicks off. We'll have some great stuff. And of course, Dr. Chavis, our president and CEO, is going to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award, much deserved honor for the president and CEO of the NMPA. And I'm told some very, very special guests will salute our president. And remember, Dr. Chavis is certainly an icon in every sense of the word, a civil rights icon, a member of the Wilmington 10. But a lot of younger folks remember him from the 1998 movie Belly with DMX. And so he's following in the hip hop genre, and the hip hop world continues. We've had folks like LL Cool J and of course Chuck D and others come on, Ice Cube, and they always call him in the hip hop arena Dr. Ben. They love their Dr. Ben. So check us out at the Midwinter Conference. And again, always check Let It Be Known out every morning to get your day started. Uh, for the next couple of days, I'll be away celebrating my anniversary with the most wonderful woman in the world. But until we get back, we'll see you then. Thank you again for joining Let It Be Known.